Yes, they done in the building. ISTV, get you ready. It's Monday. Come on. Welcome everybody to the show today. It's good to be in here, even though we lost. Manchester United lost over the weekend. With that great spirit, I dropped it down yesterday. We move. That's all I can say, people. We move. That's our time. It's their time. Leave them alone. I'm fuming. I've gutted yesterday. I was so sad. Look, Shaw, what are you doing? Arawa Basaka. Look that guy behind you. Check your back. Scan through. What's he doing? Oh my goodness. No Casemiro. Anokwe will come to tell me they dominated. Oh my goodness. Let's go into this show. Beautiful. Find you like on the videos. Let me quickly show you what we discuss about today. Where's the topic? First? This guy's been sacked. Frank Laba. I'm sorry, bro. See you next time. It is what it is. Frank Lampard has been fired by Everton. I'm sorry, bro. He has been fired. As the board has made decision on another English coach. Guys, what do you think? Who do you think will be the right manager for Everton? Drop your comments. Come on, please smash the like on the video. We're about to get started. Robbie is on the line. Kunle is also there. Ope Adebari all the way from United Kingdom. He's an Astra fan. I'm gentle. I'm loyal. Respect to all Astra fans. Big up to Astra fans. So with that being said, I'm going to bring this main man. His name is Robbie. Robbie, talk to me. Astra beat us over the weekend.
Good evening to you, Dijon. Good evening to you, our listeners at home. It's good to be on the program once again. I'll tell you that it is an amazing time to be here. Last week, we saw that game, the most beautiful game, the most interesting game of the weekend, where the big boys played, unlike that game we saw on Saturday, where Chelsea and Liverpool were serving us with, according to how we say it here in Nigeria, they were serving us with some kekeyebu football. But Arsenal and Manchester United gave us the best action of the weekend. And of course, it was a cracker. Arsenal fully deserving of their victory. Unfortunately, things didn't really go well for United. If United had gotten a point in that game, it would have been a great steal. But yesterday, Arsenal players, Arsenal as a team, Arteta as a coach, wanted it more, and of course, they were able to get that win. And on that note, I say good evening, and it is good to be here once again.
Come on, people. Smash like on the video for this main man. His name is Robbie. Robbie, thank you so much. You're welcome to the show. I'm going to bring another brother from another mother. His name is Kunle. Kunle is also a Manchester United fan. He's so gutted. He's so, I don't know. Kunle, talk to me. How do you feel after the game? You're welcome to the show.
Good evening to Don and good evening to everyone. I'm not gutted at all. I'm very impressed with what the team played yesterday because the truth is Arsenal should have done much more.
Absolutely.
You understand? Yes, Arsenal dominated, but at the end of the day, they were able to score 2 goals from where I actually thought scoring them was going to be almost an Herculean task. I mean, that game could have been 2-2. It was in the 89th, or was it in the 90th minute that the goal was scored? So I think hats off to the team. I think everyone is actually trying to undermine what they put in there. Yes, there was no Casemiro, right? But despite that, we were still able to take the game to Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal dominated. They had more of the shots and all of that. But at the end of the day, it was still a very close contest and was very close to being a draw. So for me, I will take that result with pride, knowing that really this is a testament to the fact that Eric Ten Hag is really doing a phenomenal job. I mean, the mere fact that we scored those 2 goals, and those were 2 phenomenal goals. I mean, look at Rashford's shot and look at the very, although I find it funny, but look at how Lisandro Martinez beat the Arsenal defense and the Arsenal goalkeeper to scoring with his height. I mean, people are not talking about that, People are probably expending their energy more on that he didn't make the right sub and all of that. But let us ask ourselves, who was really there on the bench? And, the Garnacho, left to me, I don't think Garnacho would have done anything that yesterday. I think that win yesterday was already written for Arsenal. Certain things, I feel certain things are destined, and I think Arsenal were destined to win that game. So, good one for Arsenal. But let's not take anything from Manchester United. They put in a very, very good performance yesterday, despite the fact that I didn't go 3 points. But United are still in the top 4, and there's still a lot to play for. So, kudos to the team. I don't feel gutted at all.
Oh, you're welcome. Kunle doesn't feel gutted. Who is there with me right now? Okwe Adebari is also here right now. Let's welcome Okwe Adebari. He's an Arsenal fan. He's so happy. He disturbed me all through the night. That I should be in the mud. But right now, respect to Okwe Adebari. Should I bring him in, Kunle? Robbie, should I bring him in? Arsenal fan. Can we bring him
why
in?
not? Why not? Why not?
Okay,
Why not?
Because before he comes in, make sure decorum. Robbie,
no, Okwe is a good guy. He won't make. After we said you won't make
Big up to the Don for giving me the respect and giving Arsenal the respect. Thank God for that. I would have come with a different armor to this show this evening. Shout out to everybody on the show.
Save me, oh Lord.
Honestly, this is the most exciting time I've ever been on this platform. I'm ready to go. My brain is hot, my blood is hot. Let's get into the go-to.
All right, for that being said by Okwe Adebari people, come on, smash the like on the video. I want to bring this last man standing. This guy, I don't know. It's a blue fan. Yes, Chelsea fan. He's happy. Buying Ata, buying Epo, buying Iyo, buying Tomato. Everything all together. I cannot buy you got. Oh my goodness. This place is going to go down. I can't wait. Prof, you're into the show. You're welcome.
I intentionally came about 10 minutes after, so and I like the fact that Okwe also came 10 minutes after, so we can allow you Man U fans to mourn the terrible defeat yesterday and discuss about it. So I hope 3 of you had a good time. But it's good to be back on the show today to talk football. Welcome.
All right, Prof, you're welcome. You're buying everybody. It seems Caicedo is heading towards Chelsea, and also Enzo Hernandez also on the line. I don't have gotten that information yet, but I think it's on the. You are just amazing.
We are at this moment in time. We're everywhere. It's I don't. Even me, I'm surprised at what this owner is doing, but I can't complain because the sort of players that we're speaking about here are, for me, are very good players. So I mean, as a football fan, as a Chelsea fan, I can't complain. It's exciting times for us, Yeah.
All right. I want to call this man. It's an Arsenal fan. He's jigging. He's ready. Let me tell you his name right now. I can read this clearly from my studio. It says Man U got served. Robbie, should we allow him in?
No, don't allow him in. Let him go back for a minute.
Welcome, Ehis. What's going on, bro? We got served, really served. We are loyal.
Like I said, it was. I love the challenge Manchester United gave us. It made us a better person. Like the like the normal word or the normal parable would say, he who wrestles with you makes you stronger. And that was what Manchester United did yesterday. They wrestled with us and they made us stronger. And we did what we believed in. We didn't panic. We kept playing, kept doing what, man, Arteta, big up, man. Big up to Arteta, because what he has been able to do with this team, what he has turned this team into is something else. I thought that game was going to end in a draw. Possibly they were going to share the spoils. But that last minute goal by Nketiah.
That was an offside.
And
Excuse me.
It was not an offside, sir. It was not an offside, sir. It was not an offside.
I am not here to argue about whether it's offside or not.
It is not an offside.
Here's the fun fact. Nketiah playing in between Varane and Martinez, and he's got 2 goals. World-class defenders. And another question, if Modric is £98 million, how much is Bukayo Saka worth?
I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing, my friend.
All right, guys. We are coming to that right away. Let's look at what we have today. We want to do all the previews of the game 21 results, and also Manchester. We want to do a review. Before that, Kunle, I'm going to start with you, but I'm coming with that question. Kunle, if you watch the first half, I think we did. It was 50-50. If you agree with me, and Ehis, it was 50-50 in the first half. I mean, the game was there for the taking in the first half. I mean, talk to me, Ehis, first. The first half was, 1-1.
Well, I could. I'm at times the scoreline doesn't really depict what happened in the play. The statistics are there for everyone to see. First half, Manchester United only had 2 touches in the box 18 of Arsenal. Meanwhile, in the first half, Arsenal had 19. It was the goal came from nowhere. Lovely cameo, lovely. I said here on Friday that Manchester United are depending or will depend on the brilliance of one of their players, i.e. Marcus Rashford, which he did. Poor pass from Saka, and Partey failed to deal with it. And Rashford,
and he sent him down to Atletico Madrid.
Nutmegged him, and boom, the ball was the back of the net. And it was like, okay, nobody saw this. It wasn't in the script. 1-0, not a big mountain to climb. Just 1-0 down. We've been here before. West Ham came to Emirates. They were 1 goal ahead in the first half. We came back in the second half and won 3-1. Okay, this is Manchester United. How do we take this game? And one thing I loved about this team, they didn't panic. They kept doing what they know how to do best, which is dominating and, putting the opponent, at bay. And that was what they did. Even, yes, after Manchester United scored, they had the momentum. They wanted to, try to score the second goal. But 6 minutes later, the goal came. Nketiah, sloppy defending from Wan-Bissaka. And I think Wan-Bissaka's decision yesterday, 2 of the goals Arsenal scored were sloppy decisions by Wan-Bissaka. It could be maybe because he's been out for a long time and he's just coming back into the team. It happens, we're humans. And Wan-Bissaka, thank you very much, because it was a sloppiness. I gave us 2 goals yesterday. But like I said, Manchester United, it shows 6 months from when Erik ten Hag took over. He has done a magnificent job. He has done really well. Despite not having Casemiro yesterday, he did the best he could do. But you could see, one thing he failed yesterday was when he took out Anthony and brought in Fred. And I think that was when the whole game changed. And Arsenal just pinned Manchester United. Pinned them. Yeah. Last 25-30 minutes of that game, it was so much pressure.
We couldn't get it right.
And like they usually say, if you're defending, it's difficult for you to defend than to attack. And Arsenal will spread you, take to the ball to the left, to the right. Defenders going one way, and seriously, Manchester United, Varane, Martinez, they threw their body. Saka's ball hit the side post through the deflection. Magnificent save by Didier, but that goal just came out of the blues, and I was ecstatic. I was off the roof because I have a lot of Manchester United guys.
All right.
In my area, I just have to count it. But really, it was a good win. It was.
All right, Kunle, I want to start with you now, Kunle, again about Manchester United. Where did we? I mean, ETH as Ten Hag did very well, but we got it wrong at some certain point. From your own point of view, what happened? Where exactly? Because in the first half, it was looking fantastic. All of a sudden, in the second half, I don't know just what happened. So, how do you say it? How do you say it again?
Well, for me, I don't think I would blame Erik ten Hag for anything, because, like he's rightly pointed out, there was no Casemiro, right? And because of that, it was going to make things a little bit difficult. But, despite that, they were able to handle that pressure from Arsenal for much of the game, right? Yeah. Now, I know we could say, okay, maybe removing Anthony was a bad idea, because it meant that, because Anthony, if there was any outlet where anything was going to be created, it was going to come from Anthony's side. You understand? But maybe at that point in time, Ten Hag was like, okay, let's try to see this game out or something. I know some people would say that is a defeatist mentality or something like that. You understand? But coaches sometimes make that decision. Maybe he was content to have that draw, and if the game ended 2-2, nobody would take anything away from Ten Hag, and it was almost close. It was almost close from happening. Yeah. If it was just a little more concentration, it would have been, it would have been a draw, but it didn't happen, because if you said you kept on Anthony, I mean, this was even the Anthony that a number of United fans were actually complaining about him, even though I felt like the complaint they were giving wasn't really justified, because that guy was really creating problems down that right. Yes, he was, because he was always having space, and once Anthony has space, there is so much he can do with it. Yeah, he creates a lot of space. So maybe that was going to be, maybe that was a bad move. But maybe that was a bad move. But I wouldn't take anything away from. Like I said, I feel the game was probably just destined for Arsenal to win. Because think about it, even if Casemiro played, maybe Arsenal would still have won. Maybe it wouldn't have been this 3-2. Maybe it would have been 2-1 or something like that. But I feel Arsenal just had it in them, because you could see they were going. You saw the way they were going. They were out there to make a statement, right? And it was really going to be a tall order for Manchester United, especially after they played. Let's not forget, they played on Thursday against Crystal Palace. So there was little rest and little time for them to get their energies. So that's why I said I will not blame anybody for anything. They gave it their all. Okay, on Wednesday, sorry. Yeah, but even that Crystal Palace game was equally a tough one, right? You understand? Compared to Arsenal that had the entire week, that had the entire week. And
Okpa will not say anything about that too. Okpa will not talk.
No, thank you for calling my name. Let me come in at this period, right? And I'll say for a fact, last season, Arsenal had two different spells during the season where they had combustion of fixtures. That is the best way to explain it. There was a period in time last season where Arsenal had eight fixtures in less than 24 days. Do you understand? Can you try and put that's like 2 games every week? Look, every team in the EPL has gone through these droughts. The only person to blame is the FA. That's just the truth. The FA is the one that puts on the fixtures are going to be. When teams have an issue, you go to the FA will help you reschedule it. Prior to this big game, United did not have an issue with playing Crystal Palace on Wednesday and going to the Emirates on Sunday. There was a tweet that I saw from a very, very big Manchester United fan. The tweet read as thus, and it was on Sunday, it was on Wednesday that this person tweeted. The person tweeted, so today we have to beat a former Arsenal player and then go on Sunday to Arsenal and beat Arsenal again. So mind you, a good number of Manchester United fans were very, very confident that they could get the job done at Selhurst Park and then come to the Emirates and whack Arsenal, right? But my brothers, it's a new Arsenal, it's a new year. And I'm not going to listen to excuses that, you know what, Arteta has had 3 years with this team and Ten Hag has had 6 months. In 6 months at Arsenal, Mikel Arteta gave Arsenal an FA Cup. And look at the useless team. You do respect to the players back then, but if you take a look at the crop of players that Arteta had to inherit, and the team he has now is totally different from what Ten Hag had. Look at the crop of players that Eric Ten Hag took in. Eric Ten Hag has had a summer transfer. Mikel Arteta did not have that. Eric Ten Hag has gotten the players that he requested for, Anthony and co. Look at the caliber of players he has had. So please, there is no excuse. Let's give
Robbie, you have to come in this time, please.
Credit is due.
Robbie, you have to come in this time because I will not accept this.
No, seriously, the midweek game, is that an excuse right now for Manchester
United?
United?
Excuse. I mean,
it's
like playing a
Robbie,
on Wednesday, and then on Sunday.
I'm here.
Yeah, you have to come in at this time because I want to.
There's nothing difficult. United should take the L. Take the
L. Ope, please. I beg your pardon. Just indulge me. This one, I'll do a quick one here. I totally really don't agree with what Kunle said as touching the outcome of the game on Sunday. Arsenal played better. Arsenal played very, very well. But this is where the knocks come in for players. You're saying that Anthony had a lot of time. He did wonderfully well on that right-hand flank. I tweeted yesterday, and I'll tell you the things I tweeted about Anthony. Anthony is an unserious player. Anthony is not a business-like player. Anthony cannot take on any defender one-on-one. No defender since he has been signed at the club. Anthony provides no threat whatsoever at that wing he plays as compared to Garnacho. Maybe you and I are watching two different Manchester United at this point in time. But look at what Garnacho brings to the table. That boy has a killer instinct. He will run at you. We saw what that boy did against Fulham. That game that United won at the death. And you are trying to compare these same players and saying that is it the Garnacho on the bench that will do something for United? Come on, my brother. You and I watch football, and you and I know football very, very well. So I will not agree with you on that statement. Though it is your opinion, no problem whatsoever. Now, for the coach, at that point when the game was tied at 2-2, I felt he should have brought in Garnacho. At least Garnacho would have given Arsenal something to worry about, something to think about. Because the ploy at that point in time would have been a counter-attacking game for Manchester United. Yes, Marcus Rashford also would have been able to at least provide a little bit of a threat. But you did not bring in this young man at this point in time. You are saying what players do we have on the field? There was still Malaysia that could have still deputized there was stop now. There was still Malaysia that could deputize for
what's the name? Are they Arsenal fans? Those people,
no, sir. There was still Malaysia that could have deputized for this guy, that could have deputized for Wambi sliding at that point in time. You had a couple of, at least you have about 4 players of quality. There was Fred on the bench that could have brought him to at least try as much as possible.
Malaysia would have been toasted in that game if you had brought Malaysia on.
My brother, I am not going to argue. I am not going to argue with you.
Cleaners. No, it's not an argument. No, it's just one opinion. If Malaysia played in that game,
but do you know one thing about the bad side about Wan-Bissaka is the fact that he believes so much in sliding. If he enjoys letting opposition players have the ball, so that when they push the ball into space, the best thing he can do is to slide and get the ball off them. But that does not work all the time with players like Saka, with players like what's the name, Odegaard. That these are players that are very, very gifted on their feet.
To be fair on Wan-Bissaka, he had a good game.
He had a good game anyway, but
he had a good game.
Yeah, you said it yourself.
No, yes,
now you said it yourself.
No,
he was culpable for two of the goals that were scored.
Exactly, but he had a good game. He had a good game compared to Ben White. I don't know whatever Marcus Rashford has. I don't know, maybe Marcus Rashford is Ben White's kryptonite in this case. Whenever he comes against Marcus Rashford, he turns into something else. And you saw what happened yesterday. He got a yellow card. Marcus Rashford was just having a field day yesterday. And thank God that we have a solid bench.
Sorry, but to be fair, I think that game, That game
Please,
just
okay, I just want to laugh. I just want to.
I was just trying to make a point about. Sorry, I'll round up. I was just trying to make a point about Wan-Bissaka. Despite him being sloppy for the first goal, I'm sure he didn't watch. He didn't notice where Nketiah came out from, and also
Yes.
he didn't have to go out quickly just to set the upside trap. But by that two incidents, I think Wan-Bissaka had a good game, in my own opinion.
Those two incidents cost us two beautiful goals.
It pained me, man. So, Prof, I want to come to you. How do you see the game from your own perspective? Being a Chelsea fan, definitely there's something you must have watched in that game, and it's Arsenal. I think Arsenal, they are very lucky. Yeah, you can argue with me.
Look, first of all, it was a very good game of football. It shows the two different places that both teams are. Arsenal are far beyond United in the scheme of things. It shows how long the manager of Arsenal has been working with the players. I listened to Okwe, but the FA Cup, we cannot judge with that. Arteta has spent more time with these players and has more experience with them. Ten Hag has only just been through the door, so he has done a fantastic job. And the fact that we still have that in the absence of Casemiro, you still have to feed a player like McTominay for a big game like that. The fact that Luke Shaw, which I don't think is good enough. Yesterday he kept on backing off. Saka had him on toast. He kept on backing off and giving Saka all the time in the world. It shows again where they are. He hasn't had his time on the team. He hasn't gone. I think they still need to go into the transfer market, Man United.
Absolutely.
And some players they need to be changed.
Prof, it sounds like I'm making excuses for United.
Hold on. I already said Arsenal played fantastically well, but to be honest, it's a 3-2 game. No matter, Arsenal dominated the game, but it ended up 3-2. So there are some things that United still need to put in place. The boy Anthony, I'm very well in with Robbie. I still don't know the game that Kunle watched, but Anthony for me is a flop. Anthony is what Saka is. Anthony is what Man United wished Saka. Saka
God will bless you, my brother.
Man United wished Anthony is. Sorry, because he didn't play anything. And I couldn't blame the manager for bringing in Fred, because that was where the danger was coming from. It was coming from Bukayo Saka, and Fred had to go and support Shaw right there. If not, he was having Shaw on toast all day long, and Fred had to go and join him there. So for me, it just shows Man United squad still needs some input, to be honest, because you cannot be one player short and have problems. If Casemiro is not in the team, or you can't, then there's nobody else to fall to. Even in the attack as well, it's basically just Marcus Rashford up there, making things happen. So they still, Man United still needs to go into the market. They need a good striker. If they had a fantastic striker yesterday, it's a different ball game, to be honest. Van Veghorst is an average striker at best. So it just shows, for me, like I said, the differences between these teams and the time that the managers have spent with both teams. I think that was what they showed yesterday. And that's,
all right, Prof.
Pretty much.
Prof, don't go yet.
Sorry, please. I just want to ask Robbie a question, please. Robbie, please, after Marcus Rashford, please, who has most goals for Manchester United? Who has
after Marcus Rashford? Who has most goals? And you want to call Anthony as the person that has most goals, Abi?
No, who has most goals after Marcus Rashford?
Manchester United fan.
I won't say more than that.
Don't let us watch our.
I won't say more than that. No, it's not by the goals. So what matters? It's not by the goals again. Okay, I'm sorry.
Is it by the goals? How many goals how many has he created by himself?
Okay, sorry, it's not by the goals.
Please,
it's not by the goals. No worries.
Robbie and Kunle, don't let us.
It's just kind of funny the way you guys are just coming and giving the guy stick. This guy, people seem to forget this guy is just 21 years old. He's coming to a new environment that he's never been to before, so it's going to take time. Yes, obviously there are still many things that he has, things that have to improve on his game. But the way everyone is just giving him this slack as if he hasn't even contributed anything to United since he came is just, it's just really ridiculous and baffling. And what is just so surprising is that this is the same guy that United fans were shouting then, that the club should do everything to get him and all of that. Now he's come, and now they are coming. They are saying this, where some people would say he should not even be in the club next season and all of that. And it's fans, so it's allowed, no problem.
Kunle, that's football for you. Don, I just want to say something. I just feel for Manchester United fans, come on, you just need to take it easy on yourself. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to just.
All this
yeah,
Arsenal
No,
true,
will
true.
see.
I'm
No,
fine. Like, no,
the point
Ehis,
I
me,
want to
I'm
make,
fine. Like,
the
you
point I
see,
want to
me,
make
I'm
here,
not
the
even
point I
blaming
want to make here
anyone.
is,
I'm not
yeah,
blaming anyone for yesterday. Like I said, all those guys did their best and all. I know you can't, this form cannot continue. That's the thing. It can't continue. There are going to be games where, yes, there'll be questions. And the thing is this, even if Ten Hag made a mistake or something, this is like we said, this man is still 6 months on the job. He is going to learn and all of that. I mean, you can't tell, like we keep mentioning, Mikel Arteta didn't just get here, right? It's been 3 years in the making, and he himself too has gotten some stick at some point,
At some
and
point, you
there have been
remember when you are
questions and
saying
all of that.
Ateta should go.
You
You
understand?
remember?
wait,
So
but
You
if
remember,
Mikel
Okwe?
Arteta can, if Mikel
Don't mute
Arteta
that
can
mic.
get to this place,
Okwe,
then
talk.
why shouldn't Ten
Okwe,
Hag
talk.
be
You
giving him some
remember
slack
when
Times
on
have
that? Come
changed.
on.
Times have
Arteta
changed.
John,
Oh,
there's
times have
several,
changed
there are
now. Okay,
several times, yeah.
it is sweet your mouth
Kunle,
now.
the
Yeah.
point I was
Yes,
trying
Of
to
no.
course,
make,
now he goes
the
sweet
point I
sweet.
was trying
Give
to
credit
make,
to my coach
exactly, the
now.
point I was trying to make.
Come on.
I'm going to put Okpe's dirty linen out here. On our platform, see, both of us, we go at each other. We're Arsenal fans, but we go at each other. He has always been Arteta out. He has
Every
always been
day.
Arteta out.
Every
Every
day.
day, 3 times on a Sunday. But now, like you said, things have changed. We understand. We welcome you back to the fold. But the point I just want to mention about Manchester United, I just feel 11 games, Manchester United have won 9, if I'm not mistaken. They've not lost in 11. This was the only game they've lost
Yeah.
in 11 games, despite dropping or picking 1 point in their past 2 games. But games before Crystal Palace and Manchester, before Crystal Palace and Arsenal, they've been able to win. And when ETH came in, they were 15 points adrift, Arsenal. And he was able to, rejuvenate the team. If things had gone Manchester United way against Crystal Palace and against Arsenal, possibly it will be 2 points adrift Arsenal. But that's football. You win, you lose. And I feel he has the enough time. He's experienced. He's not new on this job. He's been in the Ajax how many years? So he knows what it is to put a team together and compete in a league. But it's just that the Premiership is on another level. And kudos needs to be given to Eric Ten Hag. Despite yesterday's loss. It happens. That's football.
All
You
right.
just need to
Thank you,
change up.
thank you, Ehis.
Thank you, Ehis.
I like
Thank
you already.
Okay, at least you gave us cold water. So it is what it is. So I want us to look at this match. Chelsea versus Liverpool. Prof, I want you to come in right now. It's 0-0. What do you feel about the game, Prof?
For me, I mean, to go to Anfield, that place is always a difficult place to go. The performance that the boys put out, I was very, very much happy with it, to be honest. I saw the likes of Badia Chile, stepping up in such a very difficult stadium and, playing playing very, very calmly. And then look, we still have problems in the team, the striking positions. We're still not getting the ball in the back of the net. But I saw a Chelsea with fight, with courage. They came out, they played the game.
I think they play better than Liverpool.
Especially in the first half. We took control of the first half. And everything. So I'm very much happy with it. I can see, like I said, I don't know, for some reason, and I'm in the minority, but I can see what is brewing in Chelsea, to be honest. When the boy came in, the boy Modric, he was just everybody was talking about him. Gary Neville, everybody, and it's just 30 minutes performance, and everybody's already saying a lot about him, about what he can do. I'm excited to watch him against Fulham on Friday. So for me, I can see, just imagine Modric and Joao Felix, and when all these players come back, Kunku next season, like I said, it's going to be an exciting Chelsea team. I can see for sure. And when all the players are back, Liverpool on the other hand, they were really, really. I think they have problems right in that club. Mo Salah, their talisman, is not performing at all. The Gakpo, Liverpool fans. The other day, Iris was telling me after the game he wants Gakpo back on the bench. He has not come to the party at all. So I think Jurgen Klopp has his work cut out there at Liverpool. He needs to look for a solution to make sure they get back into the top 4, into fighting for the top 4 places at the moment. But for Chelsea, like I said, I'm happy with what's going on. I can't wait for the players to get back. We still have lots of players out. But as soon as they get back, I think we'll be firing again.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're still going back to this Arsenal versus Manchester United. And Okwe, I want to ask you a question about the league. If you look at the table right now, Arsenal 50 points. And Okwe, do you think? I mean, can we call Arsenal the champion right now?
No, not
Why?
at all. Not yet.
Why?
Not yet.
Why?
Let's be realistic. This is the English Premier League. There's a reason why it's the best league in the world. There's a season where we've witnessed Manchester United lose an 8 points lead.
Yeah.
There's a season where we've witnessed Liverpool relinquish a 6 point gap between them and Manchester City. So I've seen it all happen, and I think I would be unrealistic if I tell you right now that Arsenal are going to be the champions. But the good thing for Arsenal is that they've got a game in hand. However, it's against the reigning and defending champions. And you see one thing about Manchester City, they are champions for a reason, and they've been successful for so long for a reason. Take a look at that game against Spurs. Spurs took the lead. I mean, apart from the fact that Tottenham Hotspur is shit, let me just register that fact. That's the fact. But apart from that, it takes a lot for you to come back from a 2-0 deficit and comfortably win the game 4-2. If it was 3-2, it's a different game. But then 4-2, that just means 4-2 is as good as 2-0. You know, they cancelled out the goal difference. That's what Manchester City does normally. Take a look at the last day of last season against Aston Villa. That's what champions are made of. So I know it is possible for things to turn. I mean, just take a look at Arsenal currently. As far as I'm concerned, Arsenal need 2 more signings, excluding the Polish centre back who is expected to be announced very soon. I expect Arsenal to try and sign a right back and a midfielder. That's my own opinion. If Arsenal can do that, then I can see Arsenal competing very well to secure their place as the Premier League champions and maybe going further in either the FA Cup or the Europa League. If you want to be good in world football today, you need a team with great quality in depth. Pep Guardiola can go into games without De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva on the pitch. He can go into games without Erling Haaland on the pitch and still get the results. Yes. To be honest, there's been that element of luck for Arsenal. I mean, I'll give kudos to Eddie Nketiah, big ups to him. He stepped up when a lot of people said he was not good enough for Arsenal. A lot of people hated it. Even Arsenal fans were surprised when he was given the number 14 jersey. Yeah. But I think to myself, what is the big deal? Theo Walcott was given the number 14 jersey, and Walcott was not fit enough to lace the boots of Thierry Henry. But you know what? That's people for you. Eddie was given the number 14 jersey, and there you go. Gabriel Jesus gets injured. People said Arsenal will be written off, and there you go. 8 goals in as many games as possible. Big ups to the blood. He has improved greatly from last season.
I'm going to counter you there. How is that luck on the side?
No, I'm not saying it is pure luck. That's why after I said luck, I then went on to praise him, because at the end of the day, it's down to the hard work of the team, down to the hard work of Arteta. But I mean, if we're being realistic, there's just that little element of luck. But before luck comes in, you need to do your work, which the team has done, which Eddie Nketiah as well has done. Yeah. But for me, if Arsenal make 2 more signings, maybe I can then confidently say. But then again, it's a long season. We've got many games still to go. This is just January.
Okay, I want to ask you a question.
In March or April.
Yeah, okay, I want to ask you a question. Yeah, please, I suppose the game against City, the first one you're meeting City is an FA Cup match, right?
Yes, an FA Cup game.
So I want to ask you, and how much of a psychological advantage do you think that match might be? Let's say you win or you lose the game, because for Man City, they're out of the Carabao Cup. If you beat them in the FA Cup, they're out. Champions League is nobody's game, and you're ahead in the Premier League. So we're looking at the potential Pep Guardiola trophyless season here in the hands of Arsenal. So how much psychological advantage do you think that match will be? Would you advise?
Can he answer the question?
Your player, your manager.
I'd like to go first before he's out.
Would you advise Arteta to go in full strength? Again, that's my second question. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my own school of thoughts and my approach towards that game. If Arsenal go ahead and win that game, I feel like the Premier League fixture against Manchester City, Arsenal might be in trouble. I feel they will be in serious trouble, but that doesn't mean Arteta is not capable of getting the job done, because I know the way Pep Guardiola thinks. He's a monster. He's He's a monster. That's just the best way to describe him. The way he's going to feed his players with so much ginger to get the job done, it will be difficult. Can Arsenal match Manchester City? Definitely, because I'll take you back to last season at the Emirates, right? The Arsenal team from last season and the Arsenal team this season, they are totally two different teams. Maybe you just have some certain similarities, right? But I must tell you that Arsenal team of last season, you could see the signs already, and that team could have beaten Manchester City. Ill luck was just their problem. Xhaka being Xhaka, and then they considered a last minute goal. Arsenal had a good chance of winning that game. So this new Arsenal side of this 2022-2023 season, can they beat Manchester City? The answer is yes. Would I want Arteta to go in for a full squad against Manchester City in the FA Cup fixture? No. I would want to maybe relinquish some of the guns and then put in full throttle in the Premier League fixture. I believe the Premier League fixture will be of more importance. And then if Arsenal are just focusing on the Premier League and the Europa League, I'm honestly confident and happy with that. That's my preference.
Okay.
Well, you've said something. Let me come back to Kunle right now about Manchester United issue right now. We are not signing players. Do you think Manchester United will can we get to the end with this crop of players?
I think we will. Well, you need to understand that the club is still in the process of being taken by a new owner, so wouldn't actually make sense it wouldn't make sense for the current ownership to get players, and when new ownership comes, you don't know what to expect and all. So I think that's why you've seen like now they went for loan signings in this January. They might still go for some players. I mean, there's still about a week to go in the January transfer window, so let's not rule it out. But what I would expect is that I wouldn't expect maybe high-profile players. Would probably be players of that Weghorst caliber, which are just stopgap. And then I believe in the summer, hopefully by that time the takeover would have been complete and all, and then Ten Hag can now focusing on adding players that are of his spec into the squad. So I think Ten Hag can manage with this squad till the end of the season. I believe he can.
Yes. Do you guys still need thank you, Kunle. Still need players? Yes. I mean, you guys have 2 players already, so I don't think that should be okay for us now.
Well, I don't possibly. Arteta keeps saying he needs players, he needs bodies to be added to the squad. But I feel like when you're cooking something, you need to mind the number of hands that goes into that pot. So he too will be very careful not to bring in players that would distort the balance of the team. Players that he will bring in right now are players that would even add depth to the squad. It just shows we had depth yesterday. What happened? Ben White, being our best right back thus far this season, was in shambles, and he had a terrific game. He had a horrific game. He was substituted, and the person that was brought in to replace him even did better than him. That shows depth.
Breaking news. Yep. Arsenal have formally announced the signing of Jakub Kiwo, the left back and the left centre back. So 2 more signings to go for me.
Yeah. So I just wanted to just to
do the centre
bank.
Yeah,
central bank.
Same centre back you just signed from this Spurs or where?
Yeah, the Polish guy.
Oh, the Polish guy.
That's correct. Yes.
So I just wanted to just drop my own 2 cents into what Okpe and Prof were discussing. Manchester United facing Arsenal in the FA Cup on Friday. Man City. If Man City wins, possibly it could be a Messi. For me, and I feel a lot of people are undermining Arteta, And I just want to use this medium to just inform people also that in the runs Man City had battle against Liverpool when they were how many points behind Liverpool, they came back, won the league. They've been in close contest with Liverpool. Arteta was in the dugout. Arteta was Guardiola's number 2. If Guardiola needed anything or needed any advice, he turned to Arteta. Arteta was like his Jesus, was like his Bible whenever he needs help on the pitch of play. So Arteta is not
Arsenal, they won't kill me.
No. I'm just what I'm saying is facts. I'm not trying to show anybody. Let me just finish my line of thought before I forget.
Master, you have to put that in context. Arteta learned from.
Well, I'm not. Well, everybody could say Arteta learned from Pep. Quite all right. There is no argument about that. But what I just want people to understand is Arteta has been in this position. He understands it. He has been in this league. It's a different thing if he came from Italian Serie A or he came from the Spanish league. You could say, oh, he doesn't understand how the Premiership works. He's been there for how many years? 4 years or 5 years? My stats serve me right, or if I'm saying what is correct. He knows what Alex Ferguson will always say, squeaky bum time. He knows it. He knows the next 20 games are critical. And do you think he will not do his plots and math? He will not do his addition and subtraction? Like I said in the last episode, I don't mind losing to Man City away. I don't mind losing to Liverpool away. That's 6 points. Who says Man City is not going to drop points when he plays other teams? We've seen it. Man City has been so shambolic this season. And I mentioned it. Man City don't get the pile on. I'm not done. Man City don't get the pile on. If it was Arsenal that lost to Brentford at home, dropped point against Everton, went ahead to lose to Manchester United, we would have been dealt with. We would have Twitter, like they say, the Twitter street would have dragged us. But here it is. Arteta knows his onions. Arteta knows what is at stake. He has been building this team for so long. A lot of people said what we wanted was top 4 spots. But what if Arteta wanted was more than that? We're not in his head. And we can see what is happening. The momentum is with us. The fixtures that we have, yes, they are tough. We've rode the storm. The September storm, the October storm, the January storm. One guy tweeted that they should call him a bastard. If Arsenal picked 6 points against Brighton, Newcastle, Tottenham, and Manchester United. And what did we do? We picked how many points? We only dropped 2 points. We picked 10 points in those games. So this is it. The momentum is with Arteta. He knows what he's doing. And if you guys think, oh, this is the Arsenal of before, they are going to bottle it. I am so sorry. You guys
because of time, let me quickly say my piece. Look, I listened to Gary Neville yesterday, and he said he gave kudos to Arsenal and their performances. But then he said if Man City get close to Arsenal, he said Arsenal might start to have shaky feet. They might start to have cold feet, and it's true. It's the fact because because it's very simple. The reason is because these players, Kevin De Bruyne, you can mention them, Gundogan, Walker, they have done it over and over. Remember last season, they were behind. In the heat of the moment, they keep doing this, they keep coming back. It is their bread and butter. They know how to win this.
I just want to ask you a question.
Let me finish.
Manchester City cut the point to 2 yesterday. If there was any pressure, it was that yesterday.
Let me finish.
It was that yesterday.
There's no pressure yet. We still have 19 games to go. That's a whole lot to play.
You don't even want Arsenal to do anything.
That's a whole lot to play for.
Gary Neville.
So anybody who is...
Hold on.
Oh my God. Let me speak because of time.
All right,
if there's anybody who can go on a run and win this, we all know it's Man City. As far as I'm concerned, I've said it before, I think Arsenal would not win the title. They will get close, but they will not win it because Man City will know them. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I think they've started. I think against that Tottenham, that Spurs game was when they started. I think they started on that run. I think Man City will go on that run. That 8 to 10 game
I'll remind you.
And then they'll close up on Arsenal.
All right.
I'll remind you.
We'll come back to that. All right. Robbie, I want to quickly ask you a question about Manchester United before we go into the African best player for this week. Robbie, which Manchester United player actually played very well? That played very well in that encounter. I want to know.
Okay, let me do a quick one here because of time. I think Marcus Rashford stood out in that particular game against Arsenal yesterday. And against all other, I was so impressed with what Lisandro Martinez did. And my tweet was that one of the shortest man, if not the shortest man on the pitch yesterday, had to put his head where most people will not put their head. Martin Odegaard almost wanted to clear that ball yesterday, but the man did not care. Despite the fact that he's almost carrying a plaster of Paris on his head, he still had to put his head into that particular encounter yesterday just to get that ball into the back of the net. So I think the goalkeeper also did well. David De Gea did well for himself. Let me say overall, the team did very well. But for me personally, those two players stood out. Marcus Rashford and Lisandro Martinez stood out for me yesterday.
All right, Kunle, what about yourself? Which player really surprised you that played very well against Arsenal for Manchester United? Yeah.
I think I would go with Robert on Lisandro Martinez. Like that guy is, I mean, I don't know where he gets that energy from. And I think that is what fans really like about him. Like he has this I will die here, like I will die on the pitch attitude. Yeah, you get. And I think I think that is the kind of thing I think fans really wanted to see from someone like Harry Maguire, which they never did, so that's why. So it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating, and it can only get better as the team keeps getting good results along the way. So all right, Martinez putting good chips as well. Yeah.
All right, over to Arsenal. Which player, I'm going to start with Okoye right now. Which player really made it count for you guys versus Manchester United? Which player do you want to mention? And the player that oh wow. And okay, which player do you think didn't do very well? I mean, you actually got angry with him, or kind of?
Well, I didn't get angry with him, but I think
who is that? Which player?
That's Ben White. I think that game just showed that look, he's not a natural right back. Yes, he can't play in that position, but when he's up against people who are a whole lot more faster than him, he struggles with that. Same thing against Spurs. That match against Spurs. Not that he hasn't performed well against Spurs in the past, but when he's up against pacey forwards, it's a problem for him. But to me, that just means that Ben White is not naturally a right back. Yes, he can play in that position. He can give you a good performance in that position, but that's not his best position. His best position is as a centre back, spraying 50-yard passes, timely tackles, organizing the defense. That's Ben White for you. And I'm so excited because I'm excited because I know Arsenal are trying to get a new right back. If they do get him in, the young man Ivan Fresneda from Real Valladolid, they bring him in. That centre back position is going to be hot. And when I say hot, I mean hot for competition. We'll be talking about Ben White, Saliba, even Tomiyasu will be in the mix. Then we're talking about Jakub, the new left-footed centre back, Gabriel Magalhaes, and even Austin Trusty, who is currently on loan at Birmingham. Trust me, my mouth is watering as I'm calling the names of these players right now. This is what I want to be talking about because Manchester City fans boast of this. There's Ruben Diaz, there's Nathan Ake, there's Manuel Akonji. This is what big teams are made of, and I'm saying this about Arsenal Football Club. You guys, welcome to a new realm.
In the follow us talk, Kunle.
I don't know.
Don't worry, you've not contributed yet. Don't worry.
Show me. All right. Man, you got served. Which player do you think you love is playing yesterday? I mean, it was fantastic, phenomenal, and also a player you think, come on, don't do that again.
For me, the 11 players. I'm going to be magnanimous. The 11 players.
But White was shite, though.
did what was expected. I mentioned it here on Friday. Arsenal is more of team performance. There's no individual brilliance. Yes, your individual brilliance, even if you bring it out, it still cannot overshine or take away the team performance. Despite White being shite, Rashford didn't even go past him once or twice, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the yellow card he took, I don't know what entered into his head, and I think that was what made Arteta to quickly substitute him or not even bring him in the second half. Because if he had gone on the second half, possibly the tide could have changed and get a red card, and that's bad for us. So the 11 players, Saliba, Gabriel, they were solid. Weghorst, with his physical dominance, they showed him nothing for you.
Nothing. Forget
Ramsdale,
it.
when he was called on, he made that important save. Imagine if that goal had gone in, that Rashford goal, second goal had gone in, possibly it would have been so difficult for us to, weather that storm again. The left full back, you could see, what's his name, Zinchenko. Even Anthony, being having the pace, couldn't even go past Zinchenko once or twice throughout that game. Partey, despite his mistake for that first goal, it was fantastic. There was a run he made to cover up Anthony.
Yeah.
He ran past Gabriel, past Saliba, ran past everybody.
That guy is swear danger.
So, Odegaard, fantastic. Despite him having that knock in the first half. Saka, come on. Nketiah, Martinelli, Trossard, the new signing. Like I said, you don't have to spend £98 million before that player can have an influence. And you saw what Trossard
Stop looking for trouble, this man. Stop looking for trouble.
The £27 million was worth it. You saw that run. The other day, they were shouting, hey, he made one run. He did this, he did that. And eventually ended into nothing. Gary Neville can say whatever he wants to say. He's a loud mouth. He speaks from both sides of his mouth. Today, he's praising Arsenal. Tomorrow, he's saying Arsenal will not win the league. That's none of my business, by the way. Just to piggyback to what we're saying, Arsenal right now, they have the momentum. You see Guardiola in all his pressers. He's calling Arsenal. You should know we're living rent-free in his head. You should know there is a problem. He's worried that these guys, they are coming. And like I said, we'll all be here.
Yeah, we'll all be here.
19 games gone. 19 more games for Arsenal to go. And like I've always said, we'll take it game by game basis. I don't mind us even losing out in the FA Cup so we can concentrate on the Premiership and Europa. I don't mind. But like I said, game by game basis is why we're here. And at the end of the season, we'll all be here.
All right, guys, we have to move on now because of our time. I'm just going to run the African Top 10 this week. The number 10 for this week goes to this guy, Eric Morten, who scored in a Bayern Munich 1-1 draw. Bundesliga game with Leipzig. He scored in that game. And also on number 9, Elijah Adebayo, Nigeria, England. Kunle, do you know this guy? Hello, Kunle.
Yes, boss.
He scored a goal. How do you know? It's a championship guy. He's from Nigeria. His name is Elijah Adebayo. He scored.
Yeah, he's a UK born. Yeah.
Okwe, you should be meeting all these guys, these players from Nigeria. You should be meeting them one by one now.
In due time.
At least run a show with them, talk to them. Let's see how they're faring. I think it is another way for us to be able to, speak one of them. And also number 8, this guy is on fire. Ahmad Diallo of Ivory Coast scored a goal in Sunderland's 2-0. Kunle, do you remember this guy? I think he won the best player or something.
Yes, and he's a Manchester United player. He's on loan at Sunderland.
Yes. And also number 7 this week. Yes, last week it was number 1. This week is now number 7. This main guy is coming to Manchester United, God's willing, when we have another new holder. Watch out for this guy, our next number 9. Next season, inshallah.
You should rather stay in
Don't let Odboli hear you.
Don't let Odboli hear you.
Prof, God bless you.
You should rather just stay in Napoli, man.
Yeah, okay. All right, number 6. His name is Amin Adli. He's from Morocco, France. I love this guy. He scored a goal and provided an assist in Bayer Leverkusen Bundesliga win over Borussia. It's only Okwe that can pronounce that. Borussia Mönchengladbach. And also
Mönchengladbach.
Mönchengladbach. All right, moving to number 5. His name is Amin Sarr. He's from Gambia. He's got a brace in that Kunle that will be able to pronounce that in Eredivisie win over. I think Kunle is going to answer that as well. They're moving to number 4 in Difreke, biggest guy. We call him Mr. Utility. Scored a brace in Accra United 3-0 MPFL win over Nasarawa United. Robbie, do you have anything to say about this guy in Difreke Effiong?
This was the most impressive win of the 3 away wins recorded in the MPFL last week. There were 3 away wins, but Accra United had the highest number of goals scored away from home. And I think this player is somebody that has been impressive for the team. So that is so far what's up with him at the moment.
All right,
Bendel Insurance is not doing bad.
Bendel?
Yeah,
Bendel what?
yes, Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance.
They've won
yes, they played in Ibadan yesterday. And one of their players, yes, they won. Please go on.
All right, this number 3 is Mohamed Sharif from Egypt. He scored a brace at that's world best team Al Ali 3-0 Egyptian Premier League win over Zamalek. And number 2 this week, come on, talk to me about this guy, Ademola Lookman, sexy Lookman, scored a brace in Atlanta 3-3 Syria A draw with Juventus. I mean, Ehis, you want to say something about this guy? I mean,
the guy is on fire.
Lookman.
He's on fire, really. Scoring. Good performance yesterday against Juventus. I saw that game and I was happy. And we have 2 Nigerians, first and second, being the highest goal scorer position, first and second. Osime and Lookman being first and second, being the highest goal scorer in the Italian league. I love what I'm saying. I'm happy, and I pray it continues in this form and possibly go to a bigger club.
All right, let's move in. Number 1 for this week. You guys will not believe. Just watch this. Okwe, talk to me about this guy. Okwe, talk to me. Number 1 is called Eddie Nketiah. I wrote that last name 2 times. I don't care.
This is Edward. Ladies and gentlemen, on this platform, this is Edward Nketiah.
Yes.
He's the highest goal scorer in the history of England under 21 football. He's one of the top goal scorers in the history of Hill End, Arsenal's academy, and he scored 2 vital goals against Manchester United. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Nketiah.
Wow. Awesome. I'm going over to you, Robbie. What do you want to talk about this guy? Eddie Nketiah.
Okpa, you go by me total man. I swear, your mouth sweet. You go by me total man.
I swear that.
Well, Eddie Nketiah was. I think it was Ehis that said something about him some minutes ago. Eddie Nketiah has been inspirational for Arsenal, and I will not lie to you. This team, like I tweeted yesterday, that who needs Jesus when Nketiah is actually delivering for you? They don't seem to be missing that man at all, and this man has stepped up to the plate. He has been sensational for Arsenal. He has been their go-to man, and like I always say, I love business-like footballers. This man does not joke around. This man does not play around. He just wants to stick the ball into the back of the net. He does not care how, and that is one thing I actually admire about football players. That is just all I have to say about this young man at this point in time.
All right, thank you so much, Robbie. I'm going to call on Ehis. Talk to me about this guy. Talk to me about Eddie Nketiah. You remember, all Arsenal fans have spoken bad about this guy. In fact,
true.
Taking number 14 alone, I remember one guy, one of the podcasts in maybe I can't remember the name of the. He actually sliced this guy like, how dare he's wearing jersey number 14. But look at this guy this season. Look at this guy. Talk to me, Ehis, about this guy.
Well, the number one fan channel for Arsenal, AFTV, Arsenal Fan TV. Most of the guys there, except Bart Don himself, the guy, Don Robbie.
Yeah.
But he has only been the one that supported Nketiah or backed Nketiah, but the rest have slandered Nketiah. But there's something young footballers need to learn from Nketiah. What happened last season? He was given the number 14 jersey. He was given a new contract that will make him earn £100,000 weekly.
Yes.
And at that period, not too long after that, Arsenal signed Gabriel Jesus. And he was told, you have to start behind Gabriel Jesus. You can't start ahead of Gabriel Jesus. Any young footballer will have lost his mind there.
Yeah,
but absolutely. This is what this guy did. He went back. If you look at Nketiah's build this season compared to the beginning of the season, and now you would see staggering difference. He has gone to work on his core, work on his body. He puts in the work. And that was what I was challenging Okwe earlier, that you can't say Nketiah is lucky. There's a particular saying that says opportunity meets preparedness. Nketiah has been working behind the scene. And this is what happens when you're prepared to take responsibility. So I'm happy for this guy. And I pray long may it continue. And I pray he's going to give Arteta that headache not to know who to pick between him and Gabriel Jesus. But he has been outstanding. I need to give him kudos.
Yeah, that being said, guys, I got to go. I got to run now. It's a fantastic show. I've been hearing so many comments. People are saying, big up to it, guys. It is what it is. This is how far we can go today. Please smash the like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel. Right now, let me quickly see where we are right now in terms of subscription. We are 2,938 subscribers. Come on, big up everybody. Let's keep sharing this community. Join us. Subscribe, share, like this video. On to the next one. Robbie, thank you so much. One love, bro.
You're welcome, my boss.
Bro, Kunle of life. Manchester United to the core, to the bone, to the flesh, to the blood. Talk to me, Kunle. Bye for now.
Yeah, thanks a lot, boss. I appreciate it.
All right, these two main guys are snap people. Okwe Adebari, I'm loving it. You're enjoying it. Enjoying the moment. It was 3-2 over the weekend. Okwe, thanks for showing up. Big up.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Gunners forever, Gunners for life. Gunners Lawa, no testing.
No testing. All right, man, you go serve next time. Change your name.
Hey, definitely I will. Definitely, yeah, one love.
All right, thanks for showing up, people. I love you guys. Thanks so much, man. All right, on this note, people, this is INTERCONTINENTAL SPORTS TV. This is how far we can go tonight, baby. But one moment, people. Smash the like on the video, subscribe. This is how we do it on our show. And on this note, thanks everybody. It is what it is. Eddie Nketiah making it number one this week. He scored the brace in Arsenal 3-2 Premier League win over Manchester United. Beware of this guy, Eddie Nketiah. Beware. Massive. On this note, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Same time next week, we'll be live here. Thank you, people. Love you guys.